it's important for us not to think, not to accidentally fall into unaware self-righteous racism, because I don't, you know, when we see someone who lightens their skin or who straightens their hair, you know, we can understand that in a way of that there may be some kind of internalized racism going on there, but for us to look at people who do that and say they're really screwed up, that's problematic, right?
Yes.
Because there are ways that you know, we all make changes to accommodate what society expects of us. So I think it's important not to put a lot of negative judgment on that, but to understand it in the context of, you know, we all make those kinds of decisions and things. So
that's a really good point. Thank you. That's a really good point to remember.
Well, I'll go to the other extreme right now. It's how lighter skinned girls are starting to tan more just to get that nice natural sun glow. They're introducing to their body some very harsh chemicals, UVA and UVB rays. My mother has skin cancer. Very big advocate on sun protection. So when people tell me that I look sickly because I am too white, it's being too white or too dark. They're basing what society has said that people should be onto other people. So to tell someone that they are too something is extremely prejudiced. And you shouldn't be telling someone that just because society says you should be one way and not know their history is something you extremely wrong. So
like prejudgment.
It's prejudgment.
And I like as long as I've lived here, like I've had friends, like, you know, white friends, and they'd be like, you know, I'm going tanning, or, you know, I'm gonna go to the tanning bed, and I kind of thought, like, you know, my culture, we're put down because of the darkness of our skin, but yet people are paying money to get their skin to be dark. So I was just kind of confused, because today's society, everybody wants to be tan. Oh, you're too pale. Well, that's your natural color. That's the color that's supposed to be superior, right? Then why are you spending money to change your color to look more like my color? That's supposed to be dirty and negative. So I never understood that.
That's just because society has labeled it as unattractive. Pale white skin. You have to be like in that mix, like that in between, like caramel color.
Yeah, you have to have that nice sun-kissed glow.
Yeah.
If you look at any tanning bottle, it says you can get a nice sun-kissed glow if you do it so many days and then let it fade and reapply it after this many hours.
I mean, I will admit myself, I mean, I've been sucked into that before, where people have told me, like, John, you would look so much more attractive if you just darkened your skin. And so I would go to, like, you know, to like Beauty First and like go buy some like tanning
Moisture thing.
Yeah, and like the towelettes, and like rub it all over my face, my body, and stuff like that, just to get that tan color for just a couple of days. I was spending like maybe $10. They were like almost $5 a piece for the full body, the towelettes, and they. I was doing that for. I was going back like every 2 or 3 days, so at least twice a week. So I was spending like $20 on $20 a week just to have darker skin, and I did that for a couple months, and then I was just like, I can't afford this anymore, so I'll just be unattractive, I guess. So, but yeah, we do all get sucked into what society wants us to look like. So that's a very big point that we should make.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the point that
some
I'm
people
trying to do. It's like
some people will go, yeah, some people will go to more extremes, but then again,
in the end result, we're all trying to
we all get sucked in.
Yeah, in the end result.
Actually, I wanted to kick this out to the audience. Does anyone have stories of being too white, too dark, too American, too anything?
I am. I'm white and a little bit Mexican and a little bit Indian, and I don't fit into any of them. So I'm adopted, so it's a white family. My husband is Mexican. I don't speak a lot of Spanish, so I can't be Mexican. I have dark hair. I don't have blonde hair. And I'm too dark to be white. And then the Indian, I don't know much about that culture, so I can't be that. So all three, I don't fit into any of them.
Yeah. You're too something to fit into the rest of the group.
And when I was little, first grade, I wanted to have blonde hair so I could fit into first grade because I had dark hair. I can't be white. So it's hard. So and when you say you're black and everyone says stuff, I've always thought you guys have the best skin, the best eyes, everything, the best curves. So always when I see a black woman, I never think anything bad. It's like, oh my God, I wish I had that little dick. No, never think anything bad.
You have a question?
Just a little story, like, me, because I'm of Jewish descent, you know, I'm Austrian, Russian, stuff like that. And growing up, I always wanted to have, like, a more flat nose. Because, yeah, I've got I guess, a stereotypical Jew nose. You know, it's hooked and stuff. And I always remember growing up, I always wanted, like, a flatter nose and, like, blonder hair and blue eyes, but, yeah. Because, you know, like, even white people, it's still, like, it's not just, like, white, it's, like, the Aryan race, I guess, you know, the blonde, the blue-eyed, like, that's, like, the most ideal.
Yeah.
Why do we think that that's the, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how has society modeled the perfect person? Like, why is it that they have to have blonde hair? Why is it that they have to have tan skin? Why do they have blonde hair? Why do they have to be bone skinny? Like, what tactics are they using to make these people look beautiful in their eyes? Does anybody know, like, what do you think?
Barbie.
Barbie?
You're taught at a young age to, play with her, and she's awesome. And they showed that if Barbie was a real person, she would, like, have you ever heard of that?
She'd be
Like,
7'2", 30. Her dimensions would be 39, 22, 36. Sorry, I just read this fact. Yeah, I read this fact like 2 days ago.
her head would be, like, so heavy, like, she'd fall over, right?
Yeah.
7'2"?
7'2".
Wow. That's a big lady.
And if you think about it, if you actually look at the Barbie dolls, her legs are, like, for most of her body. So she's all leg.
To answer your question about where did all that come from, so where did Barbie become the good thing? It actually goes back to the imperial age when kings and queens were the height of society, and most of them were blonde. If you remember the big headsets, the insane hair, it was always blonde, they always had blue eyes. So blonde, blue-eyed, skinny, and always looking fashionable, always had a sense of imperialness and being the most important person on the planet. That's basically where we base our society off of. It just went straight down.
What location was that from?
That's actually around the French and German areas.
So
and
that's
British.
so that's the white culture area, and
Yes.
our country is dominated by white. So that kind of makes
We stole a lot from them,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So we have these images of Barbie and all these white imagery because the ones that are in charge, the ones that are dictating what's in, what's not, are white.
Do you think it goes to play, like, the role on, like, what men think is attractive? Like, a lot of times when it comes to, like, models who are the blonde hair, skinny, white, guys are like, oh, she's so hot, she's so cute, and it's like, do girls try to fix themselves and make themselves look like that because that's what, guys see as someone who's beautiful, someone who's got these things up on their kid, and they're just, because guys see that as something that's just so attractive. Oh, she's so cute, Do we as women kind of perceive that as that's what we should look like because that's what's attractive? Because women are made to reproduce, have children, take care of everybody, and in order to do all that, she needs a mate. And so does she change herself up to go with his stereotype of a woman to be with him so that they can do what women are supposed to do? Like, does that play a role in it, anyone think, as well? Like what guys perceive as?
Yeah, I totally get that.
You have a question?
I think it does because, like, my friend, I was going out with this guy and he was like, oh, I would like you even more if you were blonde. I was like, well, I'm not going to do that, And then we broke up and then my friend went out with him. And then, like, a week later, I see her with blonde.